Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast, where we provide you with your weekly diagnosis of everything fantasy football. Whether it's season-long leagues, dynasty, DFS, or sometimes even IDP, we got you covered all year long. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast. And, of course, I'm your host, John June. And, of course, I got my guy, Greg Penniman.
Yes,
Greg,
sir.
what is good, man?
Yes, sir. What is going on? Oh man, mock draft day. I'm excited. We're just getting closer and closer to week 1, man, and it's gonna be good. Preseason football. We were just talking about our dynasty teams, our dynasty rookies. My guy Patrick Surtain Jr. Got the pick 6. So yeah, I'm getting excited about football and just football in general.
Yeah, man, it's definitely good to see. Got to see. All the rookie quarterbacks get some playing time this week. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. I mean, they all looked really pretty good, especially Justin Fields and Trey Lance. I mean, both those guys made some big plays for their teams.
Hey, Zach Wilson looked like a pro, man. That's all I gotta say. He looked a
man,
pro.
Your boy was in the he was in the stands doing some leg work.
Huh?
And so, I was doing some in-person scouting. No, but in all seriousness, Zach Wilson looked good, man. Had some big third down conversions, which I thought were important, right? So that's what I had really wanted to see. And the kid's arm is live, man. That throw to Corey Davis on a 3rd and 9 was an absolute dart, man. So yeah, I got a little excited, man. But going to temper those expectations. Giants didn't play their starters. I got to tell myself these things. But nah, man, in all seriousness, I really liked Justin Fields. He showed exactly what I thought that he would, which is he's a gamer. You saw him scramble for that touchdown run. Looked like he wanted to truck the safety. Let off a little bit at the end, but he throws I almost thought of it as the Mitch Trubisky special in that throwback pass that they always do to the tight end. Mitch Trubisky, I feel like, had so many touchdowns.
He did. Of that. Yeah.
And so, just see Justin Fields uses athleticism to roll out in the pocket. You see the whole defense kind of follow him there, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of Russell Wilson kind of vibes going on in that drive. The way he was getting out the pocket and just using his ability to get out of bounds and making the smart plays.
Nah, man, definitely. I've always compared him to Deshaun. I just think that he's like Deshaun and like Dak's body, but like I like the Russell Wilson comparison is a good one too, man. But he's big, man. This kid's like 6'2", 6'3", like 230 pounds, like, and he's got giddy up when he goes. So Trey Lance also had an 80-yard touchdown pass to Trent Sherfield. So Trey Lance, that they're out in San Fran, they're calling it Trey area. So I got to get we like our puns here on the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast and YouTube channel. So we definitely like Trey area there. But yeah, man, some of these other guys look good, like you were saying, but it's preseason football. Like we said last week or last episode, you can't take it too high or too low. You got to take it with a grain of salt. Don't overreact one way, but you just take the information as you go along. And so, Greg, today is a special day.
Yes, sir.
We're recording it on a Monday because we have our League of Extraordinary People, our League of Record here at the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast. We have our League of Record draft on Wednesday. So we usually record on Wednesday, drop that out on Thursday, letting some people behind the scenes there. But we are recording this on a Monday. So guess what, Greg? We have an iteration because it is technically a mock draft Monday.
Mock draft Monday. You love the alliterations. I love, it's perfect.
Absolutely. I said iterations, but alliterations, yes, absolutely. But a mock draft Monday, some mock draft madness. Greg, why don't you tell the people what we got going on here?
Oh, man, mock draft Monday. I'm feeling like you have to thrive in these situations. And, when we're going to talk about thriving, we're going to talk about Thrive Fantasy. Come prop up on Thrive Fantasy this football season. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports and esports app for player props. With Thrive, you can eliminate the countless hours of research and focus on only the top tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. Choose 10 out of the 20 available player props to build your lineup. Each prop is assigned a fantasy value for the over-under based on how likely it is to hit the most props and rack up the most points to win a share of the prize pool. Thrive has over 140,000 guaranteed. That's a lot of money in prizes for NFL Week 1 and has awarded over $4 million. Thrive featured a $100,000 guarantee contest. It's $20 to enter, and first place takes home $20K. $20, that's not that much, to get $20K. It's a good return right there. Use the promo FFDX. Again, use the promo FFDX when you sign up today, and you will receive 100% instant first deposit match up to $100. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and prop up today. Let's do it.
There you
Thrive
go,
Fantasy.
man. Thrive Fantasy. Absolutely. Make sure you sign up for that. Use that promo code. And today we will not be drafting props, but we definitely like our props here. We do our projections here, and we will do weekly projections here on the show. So you could definitely hang with us to get those weekly props and figuring out what you want to do in your lineups. But this show will be about choosing players. We have a 12-round mock draft, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 flex spots. We only have 3 bench spots here for the sake of time, but Greg has chosen the 5 slot. I have chosen the 12 slot. So, we're going to go, we're obviously going to go through this draft. The rest of it is going to be done by the computer, but we're going to discuss our picks and, just kind of get into some of these players. So,
yes, sir.
Going to start the draft. And so obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you can follow along. But if you are not watching on YouTube, then I'll have to tell you that Christian McCaffrey was the first pick. So Dalvin Cook was the second. Alvin Kamara was the third. Jonathan Taylor goes off as the 4th pick. So, Greg, I got to ask you, actually, how do you feel about Jonathan Taylor going off as the 4th pick in a PPR league right here?
I was definitely not expecting that. JT, if you're probably going to look at it versus Derrick Henry, he'll probably get more targets and receptions, so I could see maybe the slight edge for him getting that 4th spot over him. It made my decision a little more tougher than I thought. I was going to definitely going to take the bullet and go with Travis Kelce here, get that tight end. But Derrick Henry fell to me, and I'm a huge Derrick Henry guy. So I think I'm going to take Derrick Henry with my first pick. You're going to get a guy that's going to lead the league in rushing, man. You could just bet that.
So Greg is going Derrick Henry here. We get Saquon Barkley, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce goes 10. Aaron Jones goes in at 11, and now I'm sitting here at 12. And so I'm in an interesting spot because I can either choose to do one of 2 things, right? I can go running back. I can go running back, wide receiver. I wouldn't be the one to go wide receiver here, Greg. That's not in my DNA.
It's not.
But, Austin Eckler is going to be my guy here.
He is your guy. He's your guy going into the season. You got to put your money where your mouth is, man.
Absolutely. And so I could go Darren Waller here. That would obviously be another pick that I could go. And, you and I have talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mess around with some different – I'm wondering if I want to mess around with some different builds, but I'm going to go with Darren Waller because I think that just makes sense here. I've been saying it. Travis Kelce should be a first-round pick, so Darren Waller should be a first-round pick. So I go Darren Waller here.
Like it. I like it.
Let me resume the draft. Davante Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Patrick
Ooh.
Mahomes, DK Metcalf, Joe Mixon, and then Stephon Diggs. So, Greg, how did you feel there about Patrick Mahomes going there 204?
Taking Pat Mahomes with the season that we project him to have in the second round. I remember after his MVP season, he was going, I think, top of the third round. And that was like probably the price I was willing to pay for him, which I did pay for him that year. Second is probably in a one quarterback league, maybe a little too high for me, but I'm willing to take him in at that end of the second, third round.
Yeah, I know. And we talked about that on the quarterback show that I think that I'd be willing to be in that range of, the end of the second round if I were looking to draft Patrick Mahomes. I think that would be a reasonable price based on
Yeah.
what we're projecting for him this year. And then DK Metcalf, he's a guy that we know has a ton of upside. He literally has wide receiver one ability. How do we feel about him going off the board as the wide receiver 4 here, the 5th pick in the second round?
DK Metcalf, I think the sky's the limit for him. So I'm fine with him going as, the 5th receiver off the board. I'm surprised, a lot of these running backs haven't gone a little bit early. The CPU getting a lot of wide receivers in the second round.
Yeah, we had a bit of a wide receiver run here as we, had Davante Adams and DeAndre Hopkins, Davante Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf, and then Stephon Diggs. But Greg, you're here at the 8th pick in the second round. What are you thinking here? And did you want any of these players to come to fall to you?
As far I was really going heavy. I think the only pick I was thinking about was Darren Waller, honestly, at tight end. That was a good pick. But other than that, running back is, I think, a good strategy just to be solidified at that position. That's not going to, be very – it's going to happen. Injuries are going to happen. Things are going to happen. COVID's going to happen. So you got to be ready and prepared to have at least one workhorse. I got Derrick Henry. You got Darren Waller. So I'm going to wait around. I think I can get someone I can want in the third round. So I'm going to go and take our guy, DeAndre Swift, my second RB in a full-point PPR league. Give me all of that. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. J.K. Dobbins goes next, and Najee Harris, A.J. Brown, George Kittle. And then the third round, we get Antonio Gibson, Calvin Ridley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Keenan Allen. Greg, what do you feel? How are you feeling right now after that third round? I mean, who were you hoping would make it back to you here?
Maybe a George Kittle. Definitely Keenan Allen. That would have been a great wide receiver one to have for me to pair. I would have been eating up receptions between Swift and Keenan Allen. I would have been dogging up receptions. But looking at the receivers and looking at the tight end situation, I think I'm going to lean towards receiver and seeing what I have on the board. I see Justin Jefferson. I see Terry McLaurin. Justin Jefferson has a top 5 receiver finishing this year. This man is going to be an absolute beast. So I want Justin Jefferson on my team.
Absolutely, man. Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Miles Sanders, Mike Evans, David Montgomery, and then Josh Allen.
Word.
Whew. All right, so something interesting happened, right? Like, in terms of what I was hoping, so Keenan Allen would have been nice to get in this spot. And I would, obviously have a big chunk of that Chargers offense. But I'm sitting here looking at the board. At running back, it's kind of barren, and I'm going to be honest. I don't like Austin Eckler as my only running back here. I probably should have gone running back instead of the Darren Waller pick here, because had I known Kyle Pitts would make it back to me here, I would feel totally comfortable taking him.
Right.
He's my tight end 4 here. But I look at the wide receiver position, and I think this kind of forced me, taking tight end early here kind of forces me into going wide receiver here, and it's the guy that I obviously it's my breakout wide receiver this year in CD Lamb. I have him as a top 10 wide receiver. I had him as early in my early projections as high as wide receiver 8. I've since moved him down, but he's the guy here for me that I want, and I'm not even really thinking about anybody else.
Yeah,
at this point.
I think that's a definitely great pick for wide receiver 1 for sure.
And then obviously I have the back-to-back picks here, so I could try to go a running back here. I know I said I wasn't comfortable with the guys that Austin Eckler being my running back 1. So I think Chris Carson at this point in the draft, have him inside my top 15. So I think at this point in the draft, he's, a good guy to take a shot on, because I've been saying I don't, it's hard to buy that the Seahawks are going to become this passing team. So if I don't believe that, then I have to believe that they're going to be a running team. And so Chris Carson, to me, makes a ton of sense here. So that's where I'm going with this pick.
Yeah, man. I feel like a good strategy is pairing like a PPR running back with a type of running back that's going to get volume running back. And yeah, that's kind of what both of us kind of got right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a good strategy to have. It's one that makes a ton of sense because you've got that floor and ceiling combo there with those two. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs ends up going as the very next pick. Then we have Julio Jones, Amari Cooper. Kyle Pitts goes off as the 4th tight end. 5th is the 405. Chris Godwin, then Kyler Murray. And then, Greg, you are here at 4-8. So what are you thinking, man? There's some good players left on the board. I know our quarterback 2 still sits here in Lamar Jackson. There's receivers here. So what are you thinking here, Greg?
Yeah, every time I want to pull the trigger on a tight end, I get sniped. Like I was gonna probably take Kyle Pitts here. I wanted to take kind of Kittle on that turn. So now I'm just forced to kind of switch and see best player available. I think for me, I have my wide receiver 1. I could try to stack up and get a better wide receiver 2, but yeah, I'm gonna get someone special. I'm gonna take Lamar Jackson here.
That makes sense.
At my quarterback position, I'm trying to get a lot of firepower on this team right now.
No, that definitely makes sense. Lamar Jackson's our QB2. You get him here as the QB4, so that's good value. Mark Andrews goes the very next pick. Cooper Kupp, Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson, Jamar Chase, Travis Etienne, Russell Wilson, Robert Woods, and then now you're here, Greg. I saw you shake your head
every time, man.
Mark Andrews.
Yes, every time. I just want to take Mark Andrews. Nah, so I'm gonna just stop playing right now. I'm not trying to end up with a bad tight end. I'm taking TJ Hawk. Give me the Hawkinson, man. He's gonna, with Swift, lead this team in targets, and now I got a Detroit Lions stack.
Yeah, man, he's your tight end 4, if I'm not mistaken. TJ Hawkinson is. I believe you were chasing the Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews stack. Now, in a situation like that, Greg, are you favoring Mark Andrews in this situation because of the potential stack there with Lamar Jackson?
I do like stacks. One is just more fun to watch in fantasy if you're getting a team that you're a quarterback to your tight end.
Whoa. Sorry. Have to remove some of these picks here because I was on auto pick while I was letting
you can't do that.
Speak.
Word.
Ruin the integrity of our draft. But,
we can't have that.
Greg, I'm sorry to cut you off. Continue.
Oh, all good. Yeah, no, just more fun. I think to see 2 players just get all that offense at the same time. I know it's tough watching fantasy sometimes when you're rooting against multiple players to get in multiple leagues. So and in general, just to have probably that specific stack. Mark Andrews is a guy that's going to be a leader in targets in some games, in a lot of games, and so it's good to have that action from Lamar Jackson when he's going to throw the ball.
Yeah, you have the two most consistent. You would have the two most consistent parts of that offense, right? Which is Lamar Jackson, and then if there is a passing game present or Lamar Jackson throws a touchdown, most likely it's to Mark Andrews, and so you would
Yeah.
even have the passing touchdowns and the rushing touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens pretty much locked up there.
It's cool. I got
Outside
the
of
Detroit Lions stack though. It's cool.
yeah, no, absolutely, man. TJ Hawkinson, and again, he's your tight end 4, so
Yep.
I think that's great there for you. Adam Thielen was the very next pick. Then we had DJ Moore, Myles Gaskin, Deontay Johnson, Dak Prescott, Tyler Lockett, and now I'm sitting here 512, and this is a pick I make every time, twice on Sunday. My eyes closed, like it doesn't matter. It's Brandon Ayuk.
Yes, sir. Yes,
There's
sir.
nothing you can tell me right here. Like this pick is happening. And then with this very next pick, I need some running backs. I need a guy that can, be the guy at the end of the year. And so for me, that player is Javonte Williams. We saw him in the preseason game.
Ooh,
Whoa,
great
whoa,
pick.
whoa, whoa.
Oh,
Who
whoa,
do you-
whoa, 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 whoa. Messed me up
Uh,
twice.
crazy stuff.
Messed me up twice. Yeah, I'm about to give you Mike Thomas. Can't
Right?
guard Mike.
So Javonte Williams saw him in the preseason game. He played well. He got the first 5 carries for the Denver Broncos. Melvin Gordon was dealing with an injury, I believe. So, and he looked every bit the running back that many thought that he would be when Denver took him with the second round pick at pick 35. So, I'm taking your I think he's your sleeper running back.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
your
sir.
sleeper running back. So I'm gonna take him. So sorry for sniping you.
It's all good. I think
So
at
Kenny
this point.
Galladay, Michael
yeah.
Thomas,
Oh,
Odell Beckham, then Michael Thomas, James Robinson, Justin Herbert, T. Higgins, and now Greg, you are here. What are you leaning towards?
so I got my tight end. I'm pretty good in the front end with running backs. It is a 3-receiver league, and I only have 1 receiver at this point. So I might want to focus on best receiver available, who I think is the best receiver available. And I see my guy, Chase Claypool, my breakout receiver. So I'm gonna have to make that move. Take Chase as my wide receiver too, which I think I'm pretty excited about that. It's a high upside. I got 2 high upside receivers. So pair with each other.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So we're halfway through the draft here. So Greg, you have, we're gonna read off your team. You have Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Justin Jefferson, Lamar Jackson, TJ Hawkinson, and Chase Claypool. I have Austin Eckler, Darren Waller, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Carson, Brandon Ayuk, and Javonte Williams. So, both of us each have a tight end. You already have your quarterback. You have 2 running backs. I have 3 running backs. You have 2 wide receivers. I have 2 wide receivers. How are you feeling about your roster thus far, and what are you thinking the rest of the way here?
I really like it. I really like to have Lamar. I feel like this is a team that's definitely gonna have like really explosive weeks. I'm a little nervous about the wide receiver pair, so just because of I just want to see maybe hopefully some consistency. Maybe if they do have some bust weeks, both of them, could be very possible. So I'm probably gonna start pairing with maybe safer guys, PPR receivers. And other than that, getting some running backs too. Yep.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's that's a good point. I mean, it's a 3 wide receiver league, 2 flexes. So, PPR, I tend to think in those leagues that you have to be deep at wide receiver, and especially getting guys that have volume. For me, I'm swinging for the fences here. I'm expecting a breakout season from CeeDee Lamb. I think that the target volume is going to be there for him, kind of no matter what happens in that offense. Brandon Ayuk is the guy that I would have probably the more questions about, but I'm still expecting great things from him this year. It's just, is the volume going to be there on a weekly basis? That's a question, but I do think that there will be, because I think he's going to cement himself as the Niners' number one target in this offense by the end of this year. As for my running back situation, I love that I have Austin Eckler as, just a true PPR machine. He'll be a cheat code, and I think in this Joe Lombardi-led offense, with Justin Herbert at the helm, obviously. And then I've got a workhorse here in Chris Carson, who's going to get anywhere between 14 to 17 carries, 14 to 20 carries a game here for the Seattle Seahawks, who are one of the most run-heavy teams historically in the league. And then Javonte Williams, your sleeper running back, who I think by the end of the year, he'll be a flex option to start the year. But as we get closer to the end of the year, that he'll be a weekly starting option as an RB2. So I'm excited about it. But round 7, here we are. So let's see what happens the rest of this way. Aaron Rodgers, Mike Davis, Melvin Gordon, Chase Edmonds, and now Greg, you're up with the 5th pick. What are you thinking here?
So I didn't mention maybe going more receiver, but my running back depth after those two guys, of course, don't really have anyone right now. So I'm just trying to, look at the board, see what I can get. I see definitely some depth I can solidify, maybe starting at a flex in some weeks or just as a RB3. I like Ronald Jones. I see him here. He's definitely the more, I think, explosive option than Leonard Fournette in this offense right now. Based off last year and, the touchdown upside, I want that. So I'm going to take Rojo here in the spot.
Nice. I like that pick. All right. So we had, after that, Noah Fant go, and then DJ Shark, Tom Brady, Cortland Sutton, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Waddle, and now I'm picking here at 7-12. And so, like I said, I have 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers here. So it's a 3 wide receiver league. I'm thinking I should target some wide receivers here, but inherently I go at the running back position. Looking at these wide receivers, and so I'm looking at these wide receivers here. I'm trying to see if Cortland Sutton went, and it looks like he did. It looks like he did. When did Cortland Sutton? Yeah, he just went. So Cortland Sutton probably would have been.
That was a great value.
He would have been my pick here. I've usually been plucking him here about this pick. So that would have been my pick here because he's a guy that I think is being drafted at his floor.
Bro, that team has 5 receivers. Look at his team. He has 6 receivers. He has Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Mark Cooper, Deontay Johnson, Michael Thomas, and Cortland Sutton. Like, yo, what's up with that?
Hey, man, they're going 0 RB, man. So I think
I'm gonna have to trade with him. Or her.
I'm really hurting right now. Because I don't want to go quarterback. I running. Okay. So I'm just gonna go with. I'm gonna go running back here because I know that I can. Like Tyler Boyd is fine, but he would be. I think I value a running back here more than I would value. I value some of these running backs here than I would Tyler Boyd at this point. Just because I think there's also some other guys that can be the wide receiver ones for their team. And so I think that I could wait on those guys a little bit later. So I'm going to just double up on the running back position, and I'm going to get Damien Harris, who's a guy that, you and I are both pretty not, I wouldn't say high on, but we expect things from him. Yeah, we like him for sure. Actually, I'm gonna pivot here. I'm going to pivot here mid-pick because I'm thinking my brain is going and I'm thinking about a player because a lot of times we have to tell ourselves a story, right? And the thing about our drafts is that ADP is just a function of what has happened, but there's things that are going to happen between now and our drafts that ADP is not going to account for yet.
Yep.
And so I have to react to new information. And the new information I'm reacting to is that, never mind. It's not the time.
Justin
it's not
Fields?
the time. It's not the time. I was gonna do Justin Fields, but it's not the time.
Yeah.
Because I see Jalen
people
Hurts
on the board.
I see Ryan Tannehill.
See the people on the board. And that's just you reacting from your reaction, you know? You're just flowing right now. You're just flowing.
It's not the time. So I'm just gonna go with my guy Michael Carter.
I like it.
The people get to watch me till
the RB depth is
man. You know how it gets down.
Like team 9 of the running backs.
So we got Dallas Goedert, Robbie Anderson, Mike Gesicki, Deebo Samuel, Gronk, Robert Gronkowski, Brandon Cooks, and now you're on the board, Greg. What are you doing, man?
So I was talking about how I want some more PPR probably depth. I need a third receiver spot, and you know how much I love my guy Tyler Boyd. So I'm gonna get someone a little safe that I think, in my opinion, to pair with Claypool and Jefferson, give you some steady points, and they bring home the boom. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tyler Boyd here.
No, I like that, man. He, like I said, I was thinking about him. He kind of rounds out your wide receiver group. Like we say, we kind of build it to complement itself, and so that's what you're doing here. Very next pick was Trevor Lawrence, then Jarvis Landry, Trey Sermon, Antonio Brown, Marquise Hollywood Brown. No, he hasn't earned Hollywood yet. Marquise Brown, Matthew Stafford, Kenyon Drake, David Johnson, and now you are up, Greg. What are you thinking here?
I'm up again. I was maybe trying to get a running back in this situation, but looking at the board, nothing impresses me crazy. It's full point PPR, so Nyheim Hines wouldn't be bad in this spot. It's crazy how low we got Nyheim Hines in the St. Jude Bowl then. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna take a receiver here. I'm gonna take another receiver, just establish that depth. I'm gonna get Michael Pittman and take Michael Pittman here. I think he's gonna be, the Colts' number one receiver at the end of the day. I think when all those three guys were healthy, or if they ever were at some capacity, Michael Pittman seemed like the most dominant guy as far as targets. So I'm gonna take him here.
Yeah, Michael Pittman definitely has that alpha ability, and the board just fell in a way that is awesome to me. So I'm gonna double up at wide receiver here. And I'm going to take, let me pause it real quick. I'm going to take, I'm just going to throw them in the queue so you just know exactly how I'm feeling right now. So I'm taking back-to-back New York Jets receivers here.
Oh, man.
Corey Davis, Elijah Moore. I think Corey Davis will be the number one in terms of targets. Elijah Moore will be a big-time producer there in terms of yards and some touchdowns and big plays for the Jets. So I'm just adding some steadiness, but also some juice to my wide receiver core here.
Hey, one of them is definitely going to produce. So yeah, that's a
absolutely fact. Why not both, man? Why not both?
Why not both? Yeah.
Will Fuller goes off as the very next pick. Then Ryan Tannehill. Then AJ Dillon, Logan Thomas, Tyler Higbee, Devin Singletary, and now Greg, you are up. So what are you thinking here as you look at the board?
I'm excited that Nyheim Hines dropped to me at this spot. I did want another PPR running back, just to get some more depth. So it was either between Nyheim Hines or J.D. McKissic. I know no matter what, J.D. McKissic is going to be involved. Like, that man is always going to be relevant in fantasy, getting receptions. But I'm going to lean towards Nyheim Hines. I think just he's going to be more active in the offense slightly more, and also just having that depth behind JT, if anything was to happen.
Yep, and then Justin Fields goes. The very next pick, Rashad Bateman, Baker Mayfield, Mike Williams, Deshaun Watson, Curtis Samuel, Irv Smith Jr., and Michael Gallup. Greg, back to you. What are you thinking?
So I see receiver wise, see Darnell Mooney and see Henry Ruggs. I do like those guys. I see Russell Gage. I like him. I think he's gonna get a lot of targets this year. Um, running back, J.D. McKissic's probably the only guy I'm looking at. Latavius Murray has some good depth behind. Going to get over 130 carries. But I'm gonna take Henry Ruggs. He could be a possible number one on this team. So that'd be pretty dope to just make my receiver depth. Both Michael Pittman and Henry Ruggs, I can get potential number one receivers on both teams.
No, absolutely there. Totally agree. Oh, Gus Edwards just went, who I was told I was going to totally take Gus Edwards here.
Oh my God.
'cause-
Could not help yourself.
No, I can't help myself. We're talking about a guy in Gus Edwards who's probably going to be in the ballpark for 150, 160
Yep. Latavius
carries
Murray number.
with the Baltimore Ravens in a good offense. And so definitely would have liked that. But I got to go quarterback here because I don't have one. And so I was going to say react to new information. I will still continue to react to new information.
Mhm.
There's no way Kyle Shanahan could watch Trey Lance. I don't want you to start for me. So Trey Lance will be my pick here. And in case he doesn't start, I know Zach Wilson will. So I'll double up at quarterback here.
Ooh.
Russell Gage, Jamal Williams, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, T.Y. Hilton, Jonnu Smith, and now Greg, it is back to you. So what are you thinking here?
At this point, yeah, I've just been plugging away wide receivers, running backs, wide receivers. Get that depth, that position. You can never have enough. I'm going running back here. PPR running back, J.D. McKissick between him or Latavius Murray. I'm just leaning towards the receptions right now. J.D. McKissick is just a great bye-week plug and play or just flex play when I need something.
Yeah, no, J.D. McKissick, I think, will still be involved in that offense. Interesting, actually, there was a report today that came out that Latavius Murray is potentially on the roster bubble. So
Whoa.
That'll be something to watch. The Saints can save $4 million, $4.1 million by releasing him.
Yeah, they're over the cap for that.
They did add Devontae Freeman, which seemed odd at the time anyway. So something to watch there. But Greg, I'm gonna read off your team and let me know what you think of it. Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Justin Jefferson, Lamar Jackson, TJ Hawkinson, Chase Claypool, Ronald Jones, Tyler Boyd, Michael Pittman, Naheem Hines, and Henry Ruggs, and J.D. McKissick.
Man, I love this team. I really do love this team. Just my top heavy strength at running back and at receiver, and just being able to have. I think I have good depth. I think I have some good upside plays as well between Pittman and Ruggs. If one of those two hit, I have another just receiver. And yeah, TJ Hawkinson is going to hold it down. That man with the stack, with the Swift and Hawkins stack.
No, I do like this team a lot. I think it's very well balanced at the top, especially, right? I think that you can expect between Henry, Jefferson, Lamar Jackson, and TJ Hawkinson, you're gonna be in position to outscore your opponent at each one of those positions, right? RB1, wide receiver 1, tight end 1, and quarterback. So you'll have that going there for you. And then you've got great compliments like, Chase Claypool definitely has weekly upside. Tyler Boyd brings a floor complement, as does Michael Pittman, like you mentioned, has some upside built in as well. But I think he also could bring a nice floor to where, he could be a weekly option for you in your flex. And, Naheem Hines also brings some of that value. And then Henry Ruggs, he's a guy that, if he can get 100 targets, man, I think 1,000 yards is in play just based on the yards per carry that he put up, or the yards per reception he had last year, so over 17 yards. And you consider that Nelson Aguilar played a similar role or played the same role that he's taking over for, and he averaged 17 yards per reception last year. So I think Henry Ruggs is definitely a nice value here in the 11th round for you. I'm going to read off my team here. Austin Eckler at 112, then Darren Waller, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Carson, Brandon Ayuk, Javonte Williams, Damien Harris, Michael Carter, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Trey Lance, and then Zach Wilson. Yeah, I like the fact that I definitely have. I was able to get Austin Eckler, who again PPR machine. I love the fact that I was able to get CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk, two receivers, second-year receivers that I'm really high on this year. Darren Waller to hold it down for me at the tight end spot, and then these high upside running backs, that, between Damian Harris, Michael Carter, and Javonte Williams, like I should have, at least one flex, one flex there, a weekly flex option there. And if I hit on two of these guys, I'm in really good shape. And then, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, I think, Corey Davis, like I said, he's going to be the weekly target leader most likely for the Jets. But Elijah Moore, I think, will bring those big plays and potentially those touchdowns. And so, I'm not usually a proponent of taking two quarterbacks in a one quarterback league, but I had to play it smart here. I think Trey Lance has a ton of upside in a one quarter obviously any league, but I think he has a ton of upside for what he could be for the 49ers. But then you also I can't guarantee that he's going to be the starter week one, and so I have to find an option for myself. And so Zach Wilson makes an interesting stack option between Corey Davis, Elijah Moore. They play Carolina week one, who's not really a great defense. So I think that game has sneaky shootout potential. And so I got my quarterback here. I could have gone Matt Ryan or Kirk Cousins, which, in hindsight, I probably should have gone with one of those guys just to ensure that I have I want to start out strong out the gate, and starting rookie quarterbacks would just be too high variance. So, but for the purpose of stacking here, I did get Zach Wilson. Greg, what do you think of my roster?
I like it. I mean, I like the fact one of those teams that I would probably be, have some fear playing would be your team because you have Darren Waller, so you already have the advantage there at the tight end position, and Eckler is just going to be a beast at PPR receiver. The running back depth, of course, is amazing because you took almost all of them. With Carson and Javonte and Eckler, you probably possibly have three top 25 running backs, and then Damien Harris, all four top in the top 30. So. Carter ceilings off the roof. So yeah, the running back side, I mean, there's nothing more to be said. And then the upside is there, and the belief and those Jets receivers. I mean, this offense is going to be better. I believe in Zach Wilson did look very well, played very well on just as a pro, making the right decisions. The offense should move, and Corey Davis coming off a pretty good year should continue that momentum.
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, I think stacking is a really good option to have, especially in tournament type style leagues. And I've been playing in a lot of tournaments, and so my brain is set for stacking. And so that's usually going to be like a tiebreaker there for me. But especially in like one quarterback leagues, you could always stream quarterbacks, so it's not really the biggest concern. I did hope to get Justin Fields in round 8, but at that time. Jalen Hurts was still available. Ryan Tannehill was still available. And so I was like, I don't want to force a quarterback pick right now. And then he ends up going in round 10. So Trey Lance to me was the very next best option there. And in terms of a quarterback, if these guys start out the gate, they have top 12 upside without even trying. Like they could without even breaking a sweat. So, I'm really into trying to hit on those high upside rookies because you can get them for so cheap.
Yeah.
So everyone, let us know what you think of our mock drafts. We're going to post this up on Twitter and Instagram. And so, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, also make sure you subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Play, or whatever you're listening to us on, make sure you subscribe to us on there as well. Everyone, we appreciate y'all. Good luck on all of your drafts. We will have our draft, like we said, this week. So that's going to be exciting. Everyone, we appreciate y'all, and we are out of here.
Peace. Yes, sir. We out.